Ni hao, shalom. This is Jeremiah, aka Mazel Tov Cocktail. Welcome to my channel. This channel will encompass all things related to what I do, my music, cosplay, beauty, but mostly it will be a space for me to share my travels and talk about how I achieve experiencing the world as a broke, 50-hour-a-week, full-time employed millennial with extensive medical issues. For this first video, I'm going to explain how I am currently living in Taiwan and essentially being compensated for studying here in Taipei, Taiwan for 3 months. Since I will be vlogging about my travel, that's what I wanted to start with. A little bit of background on this. I visited Taipei last November and felt very connected and comfortable here. I wanted to find a way to move here, but I don't have a bachelor's degree, and that is one of the main things that you need in order to get a work visa in Taipei or Taiwan. And I never had money or time to go to college, so I applied for this scholarship that I found. It's called the Huayu Scholarship, and it is through the Taiwanese Ministry of Education. The scholarship grants 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months of a stipend, and the stipend is $25,000 NT, so Taiwan dollars, and it's about 830-ish US dollars. So let me explain how I got to this point. So according to these stipulations, you can start filling your application in basically mid-January is when ours came out, but they come out early to mid-January, and you have until the end of March. Yeah, the end of March to send them out. They're extremely involved and intricate, and you have to get everything right. So the stipulations for this scholarship. So the eligibility is you have to be over 18. You need at least a high school diploma or above, and it says or be of good character, and be of good character, so don't be a dick. You cannot have the status of an overseas Chinese student. You cannot currently be a student in Taiwan. You are not to be an exchange student in Taiwan at the time of receiving your scholarship, and you cannot be a current recipient of any other scholarship from the Taiwanese government. So you can't combine the Huayu scholarship with one of the others. In order to be able to submit your application, you need to complete the application form, photocopy your passport, photocopy the highest level diploma that you have, and a complete grade transcript, which is a nightmare. Just submit everything and just get it right the first time. Yes, and you also have to send in your application to a Mandarin training center and be accepted, and then you need to mail your acceptance letter from the Mandarin, well, not Mandarin Training Center, any Chinese learning school in Taiwan, and then send that acceptance letter or application letter to the Taiwanese government Huayu Scholarship. I will put a link down below to show you the Taiwanese government's Ministry of Education website. So each country has their own Taiwanese Ministry of Education sector. I am from Maine, so I had to go to the New England TECO office, which is the Taiwanese Economical and Cultural Office, and each part of this country of the United States has their own. I'm not 100% sure how many there are or if there's more than one per state, but you can find your own by just Google searching Taiwan TECO office, and then you can look through a list and find yours. I can put a link to all of the TECO offices too. And then that's the place that you will mail your application letter into. After your applications are accepted, your Taiwan Economic and Cultural Office, Ministry of Education Ambassador will contact you. They'll email you. And if they want to advance you to the interview stage, they will email you a list of times that you have to be available for an interview. I had a Skype interview, a video Skype interview, which was fine. I think some people can go into their office. I know in smaller countries that only have one TECO office that's easily accessible, people go in for a face-to-face interview. I just had one via Skype. During the interview period, they will just ask you like basic questions like, how did you hear about the Huayu scholarship? Why do you want it? Have you been to Taiwan? Have you studied Chinese before? If you do know Chinese, if you know enough Mandarin to get by in a conversation, they will try to do the entire interview in Mandarin and then only speak English. Occasionally you need the assistance. I didn't know any, so I went in blind. We did the whole interview in English, which was absolutely fine. And I thought it went pretty well, and apparently it did. They will ask you kind of like about your job, you know, what you want to do with learning the Chinese language, a bunch of stuff like that, just very basic things that usually people ask you in an interview. And then after that is the waiting game, which is awful. So I received my award letter by email on May 10th, 2017, and we mailed our applications out at like the very end of March because so many things went wrong. Just don't, you know. So we mailed it out end of March, received the award letter on May 2017. It was the most stressful moment of my entire life. And my partner, who also applied, got the scholarship as well, which was pretty amazing. They email you saying that we would like to offer you the scholarship. Would you like to accept? Obviously you would. I emailed back saying absolutely. And from then they sent us a message of possible times for an orientation, and we said sure, sent in our times, and they set us up with an orientation at the Boston TECO office for what, like a month later. And we went, it was great. They kind of, you know, go over everything that you need to know about moving to Taiwan, getting an apartment, which I will do another video on because we have a pretty bitch in place for the next 3 months. A pretty major piece of the scholarship is finding a Taiwanese Chinese learning center. There are so many, and I really don't know that much about the majority of them. I personally will be studying at Taida University or at National Taiwan University. At first we chose to study at Shida or the National Taiwan Normal University, but chose against that in the end just because you have to take extra classes at the Shida University because they only provide you with 12 hours of school, and you must take 15 hours of school per week to get your scholarship, and we didn't really want to deal with finding extra classes, so we just didn't do that. It was also more expensive, and the dates worked better for us for the one at Taida. We went to our orientation, which I will talk about in another video, but as far as choosing a Mandarin learning school, I think they're all fairly similar. I know that the Shida University, National Taiwan University, is think Shida and Taida are like matched as far as intensity goes, but there is another program. I'm in the Chinese learning division at Taida, but there's also at Taida there is the ICLP, which is the International Chinese Language Program, and that is an extremely intensive program. You have like 6 to 8 hours of school per day, 5 days per week, and it is for people who either already know Mandarin and really want to like crack down on it, people who like are just ready to dive right in, or I don't really know anybody who starts there as a beginner. So if you already have some Mandarin and you really want to crack down on learning, I would consider the ICLP at Taida University. There's also NCCU, the CLC. I don't know too much about that school. I really only know about the school I'll be going to. So that's basically it for this introductory video, just kind of talking about the scholarship itself and the application process. I have no clue why I was chosen because I have no college. I didn't do that great in high school. I guess I'm damn charming, but so if you are like, well, I don't have anything to show for, I would just try anyway because you never know. If you have, you know, a strong idea of why you want to come and study, I think that they really appreciate that, and I certainly did. I mentioned how I have Chinese ethnicity that I've never really had a chance to explore because the part of my ethnicity that I had any connection to has passed away, and they were very interested in that and interested in the fact that I would like to come over and continue to study or work in Taiwan with the Mandarin that I learn here. So just create a really good case for yourself and give it your best shot. I'll put the links to the scholarship, to the TECO offices in the States, and I'll throw in a link to TECO offices around the world as well, internationally. I will put a link to some of the schools that you can choose, and I think that's it. I will be back with a bunch more vlogs. I have one going up later today about our apartment and about going to Din Tai Fung for soup dumplings, and yeah, bye.